Winter blows into Hayden Valley, a land of deep snows and Arctic conditions, in the heart of Yellowstone National Park. Here, temperatures can plunge to 40 below. Snow drifts up to 20 feet or more. Few animals can survive winter under these conditions. A few bison winter here, losing energy with every step. Foxes must break the crust for every meal. Once, this valley was the heart of a vast volcano. Its remnant leaks out in steam and hot springs. Wolves have not called this valley home for more than 80 years, until now. 10 years after they were reintroduced into Yellowstone. Two wolves, one gray, the other almost white, have arrived to colonize the valley. The couple, in their prime, have already reared litters together. It remains to be seen if this new Hayden Valley pack can hunt enough food to survive the fierce winters, and whether they can avoid the attacks of the much larger Molly's pack, expanding north into the Hayden Pack's territory. By the early 1900s, people had nearly eliminated predators like wolves throughout the globe. In the continental U.S., the species nearly went extinct. Park rangers killed the last wolf in Yellowstone in 1926. But by 1995, in a groundbreaking experiment, the United States Congress voted that wolves be restored to the West. So, 41 wolves were relocated from Canada to Yellowstone. 6 weeks later, when researchers cut open the fences, one by one, each wolf gathered its courage and leapt free. In the next decade, wolves filled Yellowstone's fertile northern range, one of the largest elk wintering grounds in the world. The Swan Lake pack grew to 24 wolves. Here the pack rallies, reinforcing their bonds with each other, and letting other wolves know they will defend their territory. The Druid Peak pack grew to 37 members, training generations of powerhouse hunters and seeding new packs. These druids choose prey that are malnourished, sick, or injured. When the Druid pack dwindled, the Slough Creek pack began a land grab. This Druid pup runs for his life. When several huge packs formed after reintroduction, biologists wondered if wolves would overpopulate Yellowstone. Yellowstone researchers discovered that wolves themselves limited their growth. When populations climb, packs wage territorial wars that knock down their numbers. The dominant female of the Agate Creek pack picks up the scent of encroaching Slough pack wolves. In Yellowstone, with such dense wolf numbers, one pack is never on top for long. At one time, the howls of the Druid, Slough, and Agate packs could be heard along Yellowstone's entire northern range. But for 10 years after reintroduction, no pack had ventured south into Hayden Valley as permanent residents. Not until the white wolf and her pale gray mate. In the future, DNA analysis would show that these two traveled from different packs to find each other. The pair call out to discover if other wolves have staked claim to this valley. If a pack were already in residence, it would answer the howls. Far from the competition on Yellowstone's northern range, this couple has found a territory of their own. Satisfied that there's no rival pack here, White Wolf sets off to explore. But other canids share the valley. Coyotes, like this mother and her mate, became top dogs after the wolves were killed off in the park. Wolves often dig out coyote dens and kill the pups. They view any other dog, wild or domestic, as competition. White Wolf is scouting prey. These coyote pups have been trained to run from strangers, especially big ones, like White Wolf. Perhaps the wolf considers digging up the den, but something changes her mind. When their young are in danger, coyote parents forget fear and they fight. The wolf is bigger and knows how to kill coyotes. But suddenly, she's outnumbered. Or the coyotes just have more at stake than she does. She has pups of her own back at the den. Her yearling daughter is babysitting the two pups. Sometimes she's at a loss and can't get the jump on these two rambunctious youngsters. But like most yearlings, or any wolves, she adores pups. Pebbles invite explorations into cause and effect. They roll down a slope when you push them. White Wolf just wants a nap. At 2 to 3 months, the pups still use their den for protection against bears and other wolves, but they no longer retreat to the hole for warmth. Rain is no hardship. Thunderstorms come frequently during the summer in these high mountain valleys. The rains will dissipate quickly. The dark yearling has gone hunting. She's too small to take an elk by herself, but she has a bead on a beaver, since it is smaller prey. Perhaps there is a chance. Though about 90% of wolves' diet is elk, they test and sometimes kill a variety of animals, but the yearling comes up with nothing for her troubles. She's no match for this mature beaver. He gives his parting shot. The bison collect into massive herds before their thunderous mating season in late summer. Calves depend on their mothers for milk, and their herd for protection and learning. They cannot let a swift-moving current separate them from the herd. Melting snow waters the landscape and swells the rivers, nurturing birds and waterfowl. A heron fishes in the river. Hayden Valley nestles within a forested caldera, the mouth of the ancient volcano. The dormant volcano, now a hot spot beneath the Earth's crust, rises in geysers, steam vents called fumaroles, and hot springs. The volcanic soil nourishes plants that feed deer, bison, and elk. Elk rut, or mate, before the winter. Not far south of Hayden Valley lies Pelican Valley, territory of another pack, the Molly's Pack. The Molly's Pack are big-boned wolves and numerous. It's a large pack. Sometimes male grizzly bears follow packs of wolves in hopes of stealing their carcasses when they kill. This bear decides to travel with the Molly's wolves, almost like another pack member, although a slow one. When he finds the pack with a kill, he takes over. Now that wolves are back in Yellowstone, bears routinely steal wolf kills. Even 14 wolves can't hold their ground against a mature grizzly bear. Winter is the only season when the wolves get a break from the bears. It's also the season when the Yellowstone Wolf Project puts radio collars on wolves. White wolf's mate, gray male, runs, as if for his life. Biologists collar about 30% of each Yellowstone pack. Their work has produced more than 20 years of original wolf research. The researchers collared White Wolf. She's now number 540. The Hayden pack has made it through to January. In addition to White Wolf and Gray Male, the pack includes a yearling and 2 pups, both female. Biologists identify a group of wolves as a pack once they have a breeding pair, which researchers sometimes call an alpha pair, and at least 1 pup surviving to December. Hayden Valley's high elevation contributes to the heavy snowfall and violent winters that drive the elk and many bison out. When snow piles up in Hayden Valley, elk herds migrate to Yellowstone's milder northern range, leaving behind the most formidable prey, bison. The pack returns to feed on a bison they've killed. Generally, there's no pecking order at a carcass. When adults kill, everybody in the pack eats. Wolves have evolved to live in packs. Weighing up to 2,000 pounds, a bison can get mired in the valley's heavy snows. Giving wolves the edge in a hunt. But this fox is in her element, like the wolves. Foxes and coyotes feed primarily on rodents, prey too small to sustain the much larger wolf. For a little fox, it's a nice-sized meal. Hayden Valley offers some unlikely winter habitats. The Yellowstone River, warmed by thermal springs, remains open, providing water for this trumpeter swan to winter over. By April, elk begin migrating into Hayden Valley from lower elevations. Gray male is on a hunt. He's positioning himself to make an attack on an elk's throat, a typical maneuver for a large male wolf. He gets ahead of the cow, who is laboring. His 2-year-old daughter doesn't have the heft or jaw strength to crush the esophagus, as a larger wolf would. Unlike cougars, wolves' jaws and teeth cannot deliver one clean, killing bite. Rather, wolves repeatedly bite and mash tissue, exhausting both prey and hunter. But that's no help to this cow. Gray male finishes the killing, but then leaves the carcass. Like many prime hunters, he's so winded that he must rest before eating. They will return to feed on the carcass later. The 2-year-old rolls in the snow to clean off. Her father uses the grass. This 2-year-old seems to be taking after her mom. Her fur is starting to whiten at her ruff. Even the sight of her father stimulates submission in his daughter. Flattened ears, slitted eyes, and a low tail. She approaches at an angle. Anything less would be rude. The younger wolf averts her face as she nears. She greets him with postures reminiscent of puppyhood, licking him as she once did to ask for food. The wolves must swim to the carcass. The wide Yellowstone River splits the Hayden Pack's territory in two, so these wolves often must swim to get from one place to another. Mountainous terrain and river drainages influence the pack's movements and hunting patterns, but their territory also depends on available prey. She swims strongly, showing the resilience of wolves. They have only themselves, their strength and vitality, to depend on for survival. A pack must have a territory that supplies enough food for their pack size. For the Haydens, the river is a minor obstacle. Both sides have ample supplies of elk when the valley is snow-free. White wolf makes a raised leg urination, followed by a ground scratch. Generally, only the alpha pair leave this territorial marker. She's a mom again and needs the food. She'll nurse the pups and regurgitate partially digested meat as puppy food for them. Wolves waste nothing on a carcass. If bears do not prevent them, pack members consume all the tissues and chew the bones. This 2-year-old wolf has come a long way. She's matured into one of the pack's key providers. By 2 years old, female wolves are accomplished hunters and ready to bear pups. Many strike out on their own to find mates and begin packs. A roll in the snow will clean her muzzle. After rolling in the snow, White Wolf seems invigorated, making a beeline back to the den to bring meat to her pups. While they are waiting, pups find plenty to do. There's sniffing, the ever-popular rolling, and chasing. The black pup doesn't seem to mind acting as prey. Pups take turns being on the bottom. The black pup cannot have been born to the Hayden breeding pair. Black is a dominant gene, so at least one parent had to be black. The 2-year-old female hurries to the pups. They lick her lips, stimulating her regurgitations. There's enough for all, and her black pup, though last to the table, gets his share. The pup's glossy black coat comes from his absent father. If food is scarce, the breeding pair will not tolerate any but their own litters. Because there's enough elk, the parents allowed the beta to return home pregnant and raise the pup alongside their own, though her father would never accept her black mate into the pack. For once, the little black pup is ahead of the game. He runs to meet his grandfather, who brings in a deer's skull and antlers, a perfect puppy snack that'll serve as a toy later. The black pup seems thrilled. He alternates between exploring his gift and thanking his grandfather with kisses. But these are also gestures he uses to ask for food. At the main den area, the yearling mouths playing pups. When they try to jump on their older sister, she's had enough. Gray male watches the little black pup chew on the antlers. When White Wolf and the pup's mother arrive, he prevents each adult from horning in on the pup's prize. The 2-year-old goes for a drink, a respite from puppy antics and family politics. Nearby, a pup is full of industry. A clod of muddy grass makes a great find. Uh-oh, a larger rival, with his tail higher. The yearling and the lighter 2-year-old compete for time with the pups. White Wolf can't resist a pup, but she gets no respect for her troubles. Gray male lolls, as his 2-year-old daughter grooms him submissively, but he is very affectionate. The dark yearling climbs atop the den, wallowing in pups. Gymnastics can get out of hand. The sight of an adult provokes activity in the pups, but gray male is going hunting, and the pups are too young to follow. Gray male is scoping and scenting for food. He rouses a cow elk. She charges gray male. It's a common sight in Yellowstone. Elk chasing wolves. Gray male may have passed too near her hidden newborn, and the big male has to watch out for a healthy, savvy cow. She weighs about 4 times what the wolf does. Her hooves are razor sharp. Elk calves, born with little scent, are especially vulnerable in the first 7 days of life before they're strong enough to run. Cows leave the calves in high grasses, travel away to browse, and return to nurse their young. The cow doesn't like the look of a hungry wolf with pups to feed. The 2-year-old wolf returns to the den, high above the river in a secluded location. The pack has made a kill. The breeding pair feed ravenously, collecting food in their bellies to bring to the pups and to keep their own bodies and souls together. But the catch is small, a calf. White Wolf snaps and lunges at the dark yearling. Perhaps she wants all of this food for the pups. Gray male is lean from giving away most of his food, and he's patchy from shedding. But the pups are sleek from his care. Still chewing an enormous mouthful, the black pup follows his grandfather. He knows there's more to come. White Wolf is also scruffy, arrives next with a belly full of more food. She too is mobbed by eager pups. Her slight wag belies her exhaustion. Even a tired mom can't resist puppy charms. Gray male cools himself and takes a much-needed drink. The black pup thinks he's invited to the bath. A discreet show of teeth says otherwise. But rejection seems to roll off the pups' backs. They've seen this bluster before. The beta 2-year-old comes in to give her share of puppy food. With 2 mothers, gray male, and a big sister yearling feeding them, these pups are well cared for. The black pup has grown strong. He leads his cousins on a scouting party. When the others catch up to him, he invites play. The pups don't need the den for warmth anymore, and the distance they explore on their own expands. Nothing keeps him down. The next generation begins their explorations of moving objects. It helps to have a committee. The black pup will not be outdone. There's always more to be gleaned from observation. Sometimes those pebble critters shoot down from nowhere. Where did they go? The autumn mornings now resonate with the strident challenges of bull elk. Autumn ushers in the elk rut. The bull elk bugles his dominance over other males. He's possessive of the cow herd, called a harem, though the cows actually decide whether to stay or go. But the competition isn't over. During the rut, bull elk, who usually live amicably side by side, are flooded with hormones that drive them to fight. The stakes are high. The dominant bull will mate with most of the herd, but who's the winner takes some sorting out. There's no clear winner, but the bulls separate and return to different harems. As evening descends on Yellowstone, the mating contests will continue. The ascendant moon will observe countless episodes of conflict and survival. Many animals prefer the night for hunting and feeding until morning light. The black pup and his cousins are 5 months old enough to travel with the pack, even if it means a swim. The breeding pair seems less haggard these days. They've brought their pack through the toughest months. On an October morning, with temperatures well below freezing, wolves simply find the water refreshing. Black Pup is a robust boy. He outruns the others and catches up with his grandparents. They're on the hunt. They soon catch the scent of a dead bison. A grizzly bear also picks up the odor. Another bear has commandeered the carcass, but he flees as a larger bear saunters in to eat bison. Lots of animals have their eyes on the meat. A grizzly sow with 3 young cubs thinks about it. The bears are packing on the pounds before hibernation. Only the largest bear can turn over a 2,000-pound carcass, 3 times his weight. The sow sniffs cautiously, identifying other bears. Male bears are notorious for killing cubs, yet the smell of the meat is too enticing. She edges closer. The dark Hayden yearling has been waiting out the bear. But when the sow turns towards her, she decides to sneak away. Tangling with a mother grizzly is bad for your health. At first, the yearling wolf hustles along, but she stops for one appraising look. It will be several years before any of the cubs succeed in stealing carcasses or chasing off wolves. Late in the day, the bears begin to move off, and gray male comes in. But that attracts the attention of the possessive big bear. No chance for food yet. But the breeding male won't leave without marking nearby with a territorial urination. This is our carcass when the bear clears out. Nearby, White Wolf leads her young. They're hungry. She detects something. It's the sow and her cubs. It's risky, but wolves can sometimes kill bear cubs, especially when a sow has too many to defend. The sow realizes her peril. Meanwhile, a coyote decides to try her luck at the carcass. The coyote calls her mate to share in the feast. That may have been a bad move. A Hayden yearling goes after a competitor she can handle, or so she thinks. The coyote makes sharper turns, and she has backup. The coyotes drive off the young Hayden. She's too far from her pack for help, and the coyotes have no mercy. Gray male rests. He knows there's no more food to be had from the lost bison carcass. The young wolves rally. White Wolf saves her energies. Riding up on each other is playful, but also about status. Holding a muzzle, rubbing a face over the top of another, and climbing up on each other are tender displays of dominance. The black lines and dark lips and eyelids on a gray wolf, or mocha blonde markings on a black, are like stage makeup. They broadcast a wolf's emotions, clownish, joyful, or angry, and deliver social messages like, "Let's play," or "Back off." The 2-year-old initiates a hunting party. She's a mother, and the pack needs food. Her dark sister is alert too. White Wolf has picked up a scent, a cow and calf. The calf seems vigorous, but the powerful wolf easily keeps pace with it. The cow begins to falter. If either cow or calf shows weakness, the wolves have a chance. The beta female pulls ahead. We see only flashes of wolf and calf. But in this race, a life is in the balance. A pup is last to the carcass. It lowers its body into a submissive crouch. When one of her older daughters arrives, White Wolf pins her, tail high, face bristling with teeth. Why so fierce? Perhaps elevated breeding hormones have made her cranky. No one seems upset for long. Wolves are individuals. They may have issues. But full bellies smooth out a lot of wrinkles. They feed together now. They may rest on into the night. The next morning, a bear arrives to see what he may steal. He's met by a charging wolf, the 2-year-old mother. She won't give up food easily. Pack members help her chase him off. And the Hayden wolves rally at the carcass. The pack musters another go at the bear. No room for bears. Sometimes, even an alpha kicks up his heels. Gray male snatches up an irresistible play toy. The hide of the elk, inviting a chase. 2 pups are ready. The lighter pup tries to grab the hide, but he's cowed by his father's snarly face and rolls over in surrender. A perfect opportunity. The darker pup steals the hide. Hanging on at all costs against a fierce rival will be vital later in this pup's life. Now, it's a 3-way tug. Gray male is done, showing his teeth for emphasis. He's the alpha male and reasserts that position. Something disturbs White Wolf at her rest. Bad news. The Molly's pack. A clash could be disastrous. With tails high, the Mollies investigate the scent marks the Hayden pair had laid down. The pack is ready for aggression, even though they are the trespassers. The Mollies sniff out who and how many Hayden there are. Their alpha male, a huge black wolf, has led the pack in many conflicts. That packs with more adult wolves and more males usually win these terrifying, sometimes mortal battles. With 14 members and lots of males, the Mollies could crush the Hayden pack. The younger Mollies sense something in the air. But it is the adults who know what they are undertaking. Holding a larger territory may make a difference for her pack, but her pups need their parents, and she could be killed. The Mollie's breeding female leads the tracking, hot on the Hayden's trails. White wolf and gray male scrutinize the ground. Fortunately, the Mollies have moved on. Today, the packs avoid each other. But the Mollies have begun taking the Hayden pack's measure, and the Hayden pack is very aware of the Mollies' threat. Late autumn brings snow to Hayden Valley. These ravens are a courting pair, preparing to nest. Gray male grabs a leg from the remains of an elk carcass. The pups have been growing, putting on winter coats. The black pup and his packmates are high-spirited and in search of food. They approach their father, hopeful for a snack. This time, gray male isn't willing to share. But the pups are unbowed. Perhaps their mother has something for them. No, they are too old now to solicit puppy food. They try their sister, the 2-year-old Beta. She simply shows her teeth. Here's the problem. A bear has taken over their carcass. So close to hibernation, it's not likely to surrender it without a fight. The bear has covered the carcass with dirt, a way that bears stake a claim. It's discouraging for a young wolf. With the bear hogging the food, the pups get restless. Their mother, too. Gray male chooses to wait out the bear, but white wolf makes a run at it. But no luck. The 2-year-old and yearling Beta females work with their mother repeatedly, ganging up on the bear. But the bear is quick and powerful. The wolves must be careful to keep clear, but they don't give up. A gray pup runs in to nab that prize his father has abandoned. He chases the ravens off, but they settle around him. Ravens can be as much of a nuisance as a bear. A mass of ravens may scour a carcass clean in hours. And ravens have their strategies, especially with pups. Like a wolf pack, the birds may try to coordinate. The adult females won't give up on that bear. Pups watch, learning how to press and how to be cautious. The 2-year-old makes a rush, and this time she and her sister follow through just right. Famished pups tear into the meat. Even the adults are grabby. White wolf digs out more of the carcass for everyone, even ravens. When you're hungry, it's easy to get derailed from chasing ravens. But when well fed, the sport of chasing ravens gets renewed attention. The black pup may not be brave enough to chase off a bear, but he makes good sport of vanquishing ravens. White wolf claims her carcass. Gray male also decides to mark the carcass for good measure, and then carries off another leg. Well fed, a pup may ponder a raven. Another pup joins in the preoccupation. Well, when you're a pup, the chances of winning, especially against a raven, are low. A raven looks up at his mate. She works on a stick, but then drops it to her mate in a sort of game between them. He'll bury it for later. A coyote draws the adult females back to the carcass. On her return, her mother exacts the required display of submission. Again, perhaps it's because mating season nears. The howls of the Molly's pack announce they have returned, and the Haydens answer back. The Hayden gray male bark howls, an alarm call of danger and distress. The Mollies shout him down. There are more of them, and they seem to know it. The Hayden pair howl back, but they seem shaken. The yearling seems aware of the danger. She raises her voice with her pack. The howls of the rival packs volley back and forth across the valley. They are assessing each other. Suddenly, gray male retreats, and his pack follows. White wolf listens. But then, the adult mollies make a move. They begin to travel, tails lifted, in the direction of the Hayden howlers. The Molly's top female leads an attack. Everything about her body displays aggression. The Hayden pups have been hanging back. The Molly's voices spook them, and they go in search of their parents. The Hayden wolves scurry away from the advancing Mollies, keeping close to each other. Gray male knows they are outnumbered. He flees for his life. It is the last time he's seen alive. White wolf is broken. She's mortally injured and dying, and her mate is dead. She does not survive the night. A coyote makes off with a wolf's hindquarters, all that's left of gray male. The Molly's pack rally in triumph. They've gambled with their lives, and for now, they own the valley. The surviving Hayden wolves seek each other out. Their world is collapsed, and they must regroup. 2 gray pups have gone missing. After a week of confusion and chaos, the yearling female leads the remaining 2 gray pups to join with a large gray male wolf she has encountered. A mystery wolf. His bloody face shows that he and the Hayden yearling hunted successfully together. The 2 establish a new pack that passes out of Yellowstone. So, the yearling and 3 pups leave Hayden Valley, the place where they were raised, hunted, and lost their parents. But one pack member remains. The 2-year-old, the mother of the black pup, still travels Yellowstone. She longs to join even one wolf. Perhaps that black male she'd mated with last year. He might be her best hope, her chance to start again in Hayden Valley. A lone female wolf trots along a road in Yellowstone National Park. She's seeking a territory and a mate. That black male wolf she mated with last winter, she'd had a pup by him, but she raised it in her parents' pack until disaster struck. Last autumn, a neighboring wolf pack killed her parents, the white Hayden female, and her mate. This wolf escaped, but her sister fled Yellowstone with this wolf's pup and the remaining pack members. She grew up in Yellowstone's lush Hayden Valley, between Yellowstone Canyon and Yellowstone Lake. For 2 years, in her parents' pack, this wolf received an education in survival. She learned to hunt with her pack and to defend their food from the bears that so often steal wolf kills. She helped raise her own black pup and those of her mother. Then trouble came, with a competing wolf pack, the Molly's pack. She carries her mother's genes for a white coat. She's rare among wolves, becoming the next white wolf of the Yellowstone Canyon pack. But one wolf doesn't make a pack. It starts with 2. And today, she has picked up the scent of other wolves. She's calling for her kind. If a pack answers with a territorial howl, she'll keep silent and leave. But White Wolf has found just what she's been looking for: a male wolf. This wolf will be called Gray Hunter. In the weeks that follow, he will distinguish himself as the pack's Gray Hunter. But White Wolf's important find is one of Gray Hunter's brothers. He's the black wolf she mated with last year. Later, he will be radio-collared and become Wolf 712. The collared gray he dominates is a third brother, Big Gray. White Wolf and 712 wag their tails high. The sign they will be the breeding, or alpha pair, of the new Canyon pack. 712 and his brothers are former Molly's wolves, the pack that killed White Wolf's parents. But for this generation, those rivalries are forgotten. White Wolf and 712 have found each other just in time for mating season. Female wolves can only mate for a week or so. When she is ready, she averts her tail so that he will know. 712 makes it clear to Gray Hunter that he cannot court White Wolf. Even though they are brothers, they are also competitors. There can only be one alpha male. The alpha pair are tied together in the mating process. But Gray Hunter keeps trying. White Wolf may have chosen 712 over his brothers because his dark color could be an advantage to their pups. Researchers have learned that pups from one gray and one black parent have a stronger immune system. So Yellowstone wolves often breed with a wolf of the opposite color. After the tie breaks, Gray Hunter still follows White Wolf. Big Gray howls for the pack. White Wolf and 712 answer. As Gray Hunter returns from hunting, White Wolf waits with high expectations, because the males will be responsible for feeding her in the first weeks of denning. She waits to see what he brings. But this time, Gray Hunter has no food to share. White Wolf tugs at Gray Hunter's ruff, as if to let him know he's come up short. His tail drops. He seems to take her meaning. Several otter families share this riverside with the wolves, too. Wolves bring food and bone toys to the pups, while otters create icy slides down the hillside. For otters, this is the most efficient way to travel. Occasionally, wolves kill otters, but ordinarily the two species coexist. In early spring, elk return to Hayden Valley. The herds leave every winter to avoid the heavy snows and severe temperatures of higher elevations. The return of elk means food for the canyon pack. They've made a kill. Ravens and an eagle arrive to share the kill, as they always do. White Wolf will carry meat to her pups at the den. She'll regurgitate it as a slightly digested meal for them. Spring continues to push into Yellowstone and Hayden Valley, where the snow may linger until late May. White Wolf now has given birth to 2 gray pups. But in spring and summer, the seasons when wolf pups need lots of nutrition, most elk move to higher elevations, such as the pack's home territory, Hayden Valley. So they will need to return there too. The canyon pair, White Wolf and 712, begin to move their pups 40 miles south. Wolves often choose dens near a downfall, but the move is made by using several temporary dens along the way. One of the temporary shelters is an old culvert. It is still some distance from Hayden Valley, and so will be only temporary for the pups. "712 seems restless. He wants to get his pups into a better den, one that is warmer and more secure. 712 has brought food in his belly. He regurgitates meat and the two scarf it down. 712 attempts to pick up one of the pups. Usually a mother wolf is the only one who carries the pups when moving the den. But eventually, 712 will help with the move and carry a pup. he begins moving his litter to a third den in Hayden Valley, followed by white wolf. Throughout most of the year, bison calves and young bulls live with the cows in large herds. The broad Yellowstone River is easily crossed by these excellent swimmers. Water is shed with high kicks and a leaping run. Small groups of mature bulls live separately from larger groups of cows and calves. In late summer, bison begin their rut, or mating season. Male bison rejoin the cow herds. They compete for the chance to breed the females. Old companions now become rivals. A 2,000-pound bull is a serious and dangerous adversary. The fights can be deadly. A bison gored in a fight may end up dying of his injuries, thus providing food for wolves and bears. During the night, a bull has died from injuries sustained in a fight. A grizzly bear has found the dead bison. The bear, as usual, takes command of the carcass, which the wolves have killed. The bull weighed 2,000 pounds when alive. Though the bear weighs no more than 700 pounds, he uses leverage and powerful muscle to turn the carcass. The bear's presence forces the canyon pack to wait before they can feed. The carcass attracts a surprise visitor. The large black wolf with a radio collar is the alpha male from the Molly's pack. He is also the father of 712 and Big Gray. So the two males do not attack him as they would an outsider. However, the addition of the large black wolf is no help in running off the grizzly. The two brothers of the canyon pack have not been with the Molly's pack for 6 months. The males still show submission to the newcomer. Big Gray's quickness allows him to steal a scrap before the grizzly is on him. In the heat of the day, a bear will usually retreat to rest in the shade of the forest. White Wolf does not rebuff the Molly's wolf, even though he's one of the wolves that killed her parents. She communicates her willingness to be courted by the intruding male. She holds her tail high. Such communication can save a smaller wolf's life. They court momentarily, then it's off to the den with a load of bison meat in their stomachs. The green grass of summer has turned gold in Hayden Valley. By September, the wolves are no longer using a den for their pups. Gray Hunter places his paw over White Wolf. It could be an affectionate gesture, or it may connote dominance or courting. The members of the pack must bond with each other if it is going to remain a stable pack. At times, White Wolf seems to flirt with each of the brothers. Mating is a straightforward biological function. There are no moral judgments in this process, though it is a right reserved to the alpha pair. Only one of the culvert pups has survived. He joins the socializing adults, learning the ways of the wolf. Researchers find that packs with more male wolves have a better chance of winning in a clash with another pack. White Wolf has seen how wrong things can go in a conflict. She saw her parents killed in a battle with the Molly's pack. Wolves are constantly reinforcing their social bonds. Mostly wolves depend on getting along. A bull has died from long festering injuries sustained during the rutting season. A coyote feeds, unaware of the approaching wolf pack. Coyotes are always a target for wolves. 712 leads the charge, but White Wolf is lighter and faster than the male. They will run down and kill the smaller canid if they can catch it. The young pup stays back with the carcass. The pack runs in to claim their prize and immediately begin to feed on the carcass. They never know when a grizzly might arrive. This grizzly shows the signs of many encounters with other large bears, tattered and missing ears being the evidence. But he is still powerful and takes over their kill. Even in packs, the wolves are no match for large grizzlies. Eventually, the wolves leave. Gray Hunter tests a cow and her calf. Wolves chase and bite at prey to discover their fitness. If an animal is sick, injured, or malnourished, wolves know they may have a chance of taking it down. Knowing when to quit is important, though, so that wolves don't burn precious calories trying for elk that are too strong. Experienced cows employ several strategies to throw off the wolves, like running into a swift river. 712 gives up on the hunt. In October, snows come to Hayden Valley, before the first snows at lower elevations. As the elk leave the valley, White Wolf leads her pack north toward the Mammoth Hot Springs area. The brothers follow, Big Gray, 712, and Gray Hunter. A journey of 40 miles. The pack lingers near Roaring Mountain, south of their destination. The hissing fumaroles are quieter now than they were a century ago. Here, elk herds also pause before moving north. A lone pup doesn't have siblings to challenge and test his growing muscles and reflexes. White Wolf steps into the role. She seems to be a patient mother and to enjoy the game as much as he does. Though occasionally, she shows her teeth to back him off. Perhaps he nips too hard. Gray hunter pursues a lone cow elk. Another cow and her calf huddle together in the lake. When the elk plunges into the water, she is submerged in freezing surroundings, temperatures in the 30s. At first glance, the cow with a calf might seem an obvious choice for Gray Hunter. He could distract the mother and get the calf. Instead, he focuses on the lone cow. The cow must leave the lake, or she may suffer hypothermia. On land, the wolves attack. Gray Hunter follows her along the bank, forcing her to stay in the frigid water. As she swims past, we see that she has a swollen jaw. Wolves exploit any defect or vulnerability in the elk. This is why Gray Hunter concentrates on the lone cow, ignoring the cow-calf pair. This game has gone on for over an hour. The cow makes one last effort to escape the freezing water. Gray Hunter sees his chance. The wolves pursue the cow and kill her in the trees. White Wolf howls to rally the rest of the pack. Thanks to Gray Hunter, the pack now feeds again. Along with her pup, White Wolf plays with Gray Hunter. The pup finds an opening to attack the flanks of his distracted mother. These are the jaw bones from the dead elk. Clearly, the left side of the jaw is badly deformed. The wolves are keenly alert to any elk with a defect. In early September, the elk herds begin the autumn rut. By the end of October, exhausted bulls may not recover well enough to endure winter stresses. Weakened bulls can fall prey to wolves. The canyon pack has killed a bull elk during the night. But once again, a bear has stolen the pack's carcass. The bear hovers over the carcass, ready to defend it. He's covered it with grass, typical of bears, claiming that this carcass is now his. White Wolf avoids a charge. But the bear will not be driven from this carcass. The pack is hungry, so they linger, looking for an opening. Gray Hunter chews on a stray bone as a hungry pup approaches. Helpless in the face of the bear, the wolves mill around. Once he steals a carcass, a bear spends a lot of time keeping everyone off it. The wolves give up. The grizzly is left to defend his stolen prey against other scavengers. Ravens. Ravens bedevil the bear. They are quick-witted and agile. The bear is in hyperphagia, a feeding frenzy to put on enough fat before his winter hibernation. Other animals are on the move. Bohemian waxwings flock up and fly to lower elevations for the winter. Even in the bird world, individuals can show aggressiveness. The canyon pack is reduced to their original members, the three brothers and White Wolf. The lone surviving pup has gone missing. He seemed healthy when last seen. Usually about 50% of the new pups survive into their first winter. His loss is a mystery. The canyon pack is on the move again, in the endless pursuit of food. Any pack that lives in Hayden must solve the problem of getting prey in winter. White Wolf pushes north through Swan Lake Flats, beneath the majestic Electric Peak. Finally, the canyon pack arrives in the Mammoth Hot Springs area. White Wolf has traveled many of the park roads, and some of those lead to wintering elk. There is less snow here, so many of the park's elk will winter here. The alpha female of the Quadrant Mountain Pack is another of the rare white wolves. She tests a cow. The wolf's strategy is to provoke panic, causing one to flee. Facing a bunched group of cow elk, the wolves have little chance of a kill. The Quadrant Mountain wolves give up. Wolves only succeed in killing about 15% of the animals they target. Dawn finds White Wolf near houses at Mammoth Hot Spring. The canyon pack members accept humans as part of their natural environment. The pack returns to a kill made near the Mammoth area. Like her mother, White Wolf whitens as she matures. .712 is also showing gray around his muzzle. .712 relies on his brothers, but he's always vigilant about keeping them separate from his mate during breeding season. White Wolf will soon be an estrus. .712 and his brothers are the world to White Wolf. So she lifts her tail to Big Gray. Yet there is still a deep bond between the two brothers. The breeding pair often rest close together, especially in winter when mating time nears. Full now and dozing, the wolves ignore the scavengers at their carcass nearby. A golden eagle sees an opportunity. A coyote carries some meat a safe distance from the wolves. Coyotes often lose food to large eagles like this, but this time the coyote does not back down. In the wild, a single meal could mean the difference in life or death. In this case, the coyote wins. Gray hunter is an alpha male wannabe. When he's away from 712, he marks his territory. Usually it's only the breeding pair, male and female, who lift their legs to mark. 712 has left White Wolf to investigate an old kill. So he has left Gray Hunter and White Wolf together. Gray Hunter hopes to court White Wolf. It's his chance to become alpha for the day. Researchers are studying why wolves howl. To locate each other, bond as a group, claim territory, or for other reasons known only to wolves. One reason seems to be to rally the pack. Separated members can locate unseen members. Big Gray joins 712 in calling the two missing members. Gray Hunter responds by leaving White Wolf to rejoin his brothers. Finally, she also responds to their howling, taking her ribs to go. Wolves usually leave these parts to all the scavengers: ravens, eagles, magpies, foxes. Big Gray spots a strange wolf. Mange has affected this gray wolf. The mite is not native to Yellowstone, but was introduced by the Park Service in the 1920s to kill wolves. Big Gray seems to know that the wolf is too weak to be a threat. Some bison remain in the heart of Yellowstone, and the Molly's pack stays through the winter to hunt them. They have become specialists in hunting bison in deep snow. The entire Molly's pack had contracted the mange mite. Their stringy tails indicate the scratching they have endured. Bison are the most difficult and dangerous prey for wolves. Eventually, all the Mollies would survive the cold, but also have thick, healthy new coats, even as they continued to prey on bison. In the Mammoth area, the canyon pack has a much easier time finding food. White-tailed deer are a smaller prey which winter here. With acute hearing and long-range vision, the deer is sensitive to signs of predators. Gray Hunter, White Wolf, and 712 make a run up the hill in pursuit. The white tails are like flags. When they run from danger, it is a signal to other deer. The deer had a head start and have escaped the wolves easily. The deer are not a primary prey for the wolves of Yellowstone. They will have to turn their attention to other prey. In Yellowstone Park, groomed roads make travel between hunting grounds easier. Traveling in deep snow has an energy cost that the wolves can now avoid. Now, most elk move to higher elevations. So the canyon pack will need to return to the pack's home territory, Hayden Valley. The Yellowstone River flows through the center of Hayden Valley. Otters live in the river and thrive on fish they find there. In Hayden Valley, otters have had a good winter. Sometimes two otter families will meet. They signal to other otters that they have passed this spot by scent marking, leaving droppings called scat. Capturing fish is, for them, easy and the primary item in their diet. Otters obtain their vitamins by eating the organs of their prey. They are not solitary animals. They like to run with a gang. The scat droppings are territorial messages for other otters, but the wolves are attracted to the smells and the remains of the otter's catches. Otter scat must be appealing. If it's odoriferous, wolves, like domestic dogs, love to roll in it. It's thought that wolves may do this to disguise their own smell. The otter dropping smell is not threatening to elk or bison, so carrying the smell of the scat, it may be easier for a predator to get closer to prey. This is not a proven theory, however. 712 just watches this activity. Elk return to Hayden Valley on spring migration. With pups on the way, White Wolf needs plenty of food. 712 begins a hunt. White Wolf joins the chase. Usually the big males jump at the throat of the elk. Females attack the hindquarters. Gray Hunter sprints in. In the early morning, Hayden Valley is often covered in fog. This bear has newly emerged from hibernation. 712 persists in hanging around, trying for a bit of the carcass. The bear says, "No way." Late spring is the bountiful season in Yellowstone. Snows give way to rains, and snowmelt waters the grasses, trees, and wildflowers. Every form of life hurries into bloom or birth. Mammals come into labor at this season, so their young can make the best of the short growing season. For ungulates, like elk, the race is to birth and raise calves while there's plenty of fresh young vegetation. Wolves may take elk calves, but the amount of food that provides is small. Before the calves are old enough to join their herds, the cows hide them in downfall and grasses. Bears have learned to hunt these newborns before they are 7 days old, when they become able to run. Bears kill more elk calves than any other predator, more than the wolves kill. Yellowstone sits in an ancient caldera, which still percolates just beneath the surface of the land. For wolves, spring is a hard season. The elk become strong and can run unhindered now by snow. It is a crucial time to make a kill. White Wolf is back at the den, nursing pups. So the three brothers are on an endless quest for food. They have taken on a cow with lots of fight left in her. Yet something tells the brothers she is vulnerable. 712 fastens on her throat. Gray Hunter hangs on, though he's nearly drowned. Big Gray arrives to help. From death comes life. An eagle scans for mobs of ravens and magpies that usually get to a carcass first. The males will gorge to replenish calories, but soon they'll carry food in their bellies to White Wolf. There is now plenty of food to bring to the new pups. The bald eagle will also feast from results of the wolf kill. She may be feeding chicks, too. For the next 4 years, White Wolf and 712 have litters together. They will travel Yellowstone's roads to drier elevations and then back again, the seasons dictating where they will raise their family and where they will hunt elk. In 2012, mange ran through the canyon pack. Some died, but White Wolf and 712 survived to raise yet another litter of pups. The howl of the pack echoed over the valley. Another generation of canyon pups have grown into yearlings. The mange mite has visited every wolf pack in northern Yellowstone. The mite burrows into the skin and causes scratching, to where the hair may fall out. Wolves can recover to have a healthy coat once again, but the infection can last quite a long time. Yearlings have a lot to learn about hunting. Some only watch their elders make kills. But the yearlings make a game of it, although the elk may not appreciate the game. The yearlings are full of energy, and the game may last half an hour as the yearlings explore their hunting skills. One even play bows to the elk. The elk won't play. So the young wolves turn to each other for play as they race back to the den. Gray Hunter still brings home meat. He's found a bison cow in trouble. Though sick and dying, this cow outweighs the wolf. Standing, she can deliver fatal kicks when she faces him, so he cannot attack. But experience tells him she is too weak to fend him off. The old cow will not live long anyway. And so, from death comes life. The next morning, the pack feeds on the old cow. 712 carries off a great prize, the liver. But before the wolves can eat much, a large bear takes over the carcass. The wolves are well practiced in running off grizzlies. But just as the large bear gives up, a 3-year-old sub-adult bear arrives. He is half the size of the big male. Wolves do not ingest much plant food. They obtain their vitamins by eating the organs of their prey. Wolves and bears are seldom seen eating side by side. This bear shows no aggression toward the wolves, and this behavior, along with its small size, allows the two species to feed side by side. They allow him to share the meal with them, most unusual in the world of the wolf. This is one of the last kills Gray Hunter gives to the canyon pack. He'll soon leave to make his own way in the world. Without a radio collar to identify and locate him, he is soon lost to Yellowstone researchers and observers. But each year, White Wolf and her mate continue to produce and nurture pups. Some thrive, and then, like Gray Hunter, leave. Their howls echo from the surrounding mountains. Because their territory is so narrow and bounded by larger packs, and because they live in such a forbidding climate, the canyon pack never grows very large. The litters are small compared to other packs in Yellowstone, and yearlings seem to leave the pack more frequently. Perhaps the limitations of winter food also affect pack size, but it seems to endure. 712 has gone gray, and White Wolf has a fixed limp. But even this year, the pair miraculously has another litter. For reasons unknown, White Wolf, after 6 years, abandons her valley home. She moves her pack out of Hayden Valley to the Old Faithful area. The new White Wolf in Hayden Valley is their 2-year-old daughter. She has scoured the valley, looking for a mate. Just in time, a graying black wolf migrated into Hayden Valley. 755 has a history. He once headed a flourishing pack, but human hunters killed his mate. 755 seemed to be riding high. 755 joined up with a young white 2-year-old, the daughter of the canyon pair. For the last 2 years, their pack, the Wapiti Lake Pack, now calls Hayden Valley home. 755 has fathered 2 litters with her. In the summer of 2016, the lives of 755 and his Wapiti mate take an unusual turn. The pack began the summer in harmony. 755 had aged, but he seemed an avid father. With only 2 adults and a well-trained yearling, the parents managed to feed 4 new pups. The pups thrive in their forested den. But one pup retreats into the trees. Then, 3 black wolves from the Molly's pack, looking to form a pack of their own, turn up. The 3 Molly wolves chase 755, but do not catch him. Over the next month, 755 returned to his den site to feed his pups when the 3 intruders were not in the area. But they prevent him from approaching his pack. Over and over, they drive him away. So, 755 again travels the park, looking for a future. In their first encounter, the female Wapiti yearling tests one of the invading males and finds him acceptable. Since 755 was chased away, she accepts these males, who were formerly a threat to her. The alpha female courts the new males, even bringing her 4 pups to the introduction. In a move that has never been documented in Yellowstone wolf history, the white alpha female takes up with the 3 young males, even though her mate is not dead. The 3 Molly wolves bond with the 2 females and their pups to form a stronger pack, one that can more easily defend Hayden Valley from encroaching packs. The Wapiti pack is now the 3rd pack that has called Hayden Valley home, and the 3rd led by a white daughter. The Kenyan white female still comes to Mammoth in the winter, and her daughter now leads a pack in Yellowstone once again. Hayden Valley is now the home of a 3rd family led by a white female. The granddaughter of the original white wolf, she now leads 9 wolves. A new family to continue the call of the wild in Yellowstone National Park.